Yo, Joe!
Howdy.
Welcome to the completely unnecessary podcast for Tuesday, June 28th. Back to a Tuesday, 2022. Officially a week into summer. That's Ian Ferguson.
That's me.
I'm Pat Contry. On the show today, we'll be talking about the Nintendo Direct mini that happened. We'll also be discussing Atari turning 50 years old as a brand / company. Ooh, brand. Patreon poll. Q&A, blah, blah, blah. I had a bad time at G.I. Joe the movie, 35th anniversary Fathom Events. You can hear all about it on the exclusive patreon.com/CU podcast episode.
They get that week. Bonus bit.
22 minutes of me ranting about G.I. Joe the movie and a fun emergency bathroom thing that happened to me.
We all love fun emergency bathroom things.
It happens to us all. And
and they're funny.
They're all
funny. Not in the moment.
Not in the moment.
Not in the moment. In the moment, they're terrifying.
But I did think about this would be funny to talk about in the podcast. I took one for the team there. Ian, how was your week without Pat?
It was busy. Busy because of work. And then mentally taxing over the weekend. I'm not going to get too into it, but the Supreme Court can fuck off and fuck off a bridge.
Well, at least 5 of them can.
At least 5 of them. Really unhappy about that. And then Spike was really sick at the same time last week. He's doing okay now. He was just throwing up constantly, so we took him to the vet. And he's got some minor problems because he's an old cat. He's 19. I mean, it's going to happen. But they gave him some medication, and he bounced back immediately to his happy self and was eating and keeping it all down. So, just going to appreciate the time I've got with him and keep an eye on him. And, as long as he's not in pain and enjoys sleeping, then that's great. And we'll cross the bridge when we have to.
Well, he still has the energy to bite at my hand when I pet him.
He's been the past few days. He's been really good. He's been eating it, like I said, eating and keeping it down and eating more. So that's good because he was really kind of just grazing for a while there.
Sure.
Saturday we did the first house party of the summer. My friend Chris and I. You've been to some of those. My friend Chris and I do those in his backyard, big backyard overlooking a canyon, and
I'll come out to one of those maybe.
It went really, really well. Everyone had a very good time, so that's good. It makes me positive for the rest of them that we're going to do this summer.
Was a nice bartending gal there again?
Roxanne was not there today. Okay. That time. She couldn't make it, but she's usually almost always there.
She's a peach.
Oh yeah, I love Roxanne.
She got me high that one time.
And then that was her other friend. I thought.
No, she had the vape on her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then Sunday I played in a pinball tournament and did better than my last ones. Not great. Finished right in the middle out of 12 people, so I'm happy with that.
All right. Mid.
I mean, that's what I mean, the first time through there was first time through there was 6 years ago there was 16 people in the league and I finished 8th right in the center. So if I can just get back to finishing right in the center, I'll be happy. And that's it. I played a lot of Neon White, new game from Annapurna Publishing. It was done by the same guy who did Donut County. Really, really interesting, fast-paced first-person shooter where you pick up cards. That's your different weapons, and you can use them as weapons, or they have secondary attacks. And basically, the whole point of the game is to figure out how quickly you can make it through these short 30-second to minute-long levels. It's been getting a lot of praise, and I would just say if anyone's been thinking about it, definitely pick it up. It's damn good.
Mm-hmm. I was obviously I was back in visiting family back east. I got to the Jersey Shore Boardwalk one day with my sister. I saw G.I. Joe the movie one night because they only have 2 showings of that for these Fathom events. Screw you, Fathom. And then I saw some shops at New Hope. That's like there's New Hope in Lambertville. They're like shops and there's by the water there. They're separated, so they're nice. It's like there's 4 blocks of shops. Went to a comic shop that had. I was like this. I said to myself, "There's got to be video games here at this comic shop." There's toys. And there was one shelf of 13, 14 boxed NES games, and I don't keep up with the prices anymore.
Sure.
But when I looked at them, I'm like, this looks peculiar, even peculiar for a comic shop pricing. I think I saw like Spy versus Spy complete in box beat up for like $80. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And then I started checking on my phone, like they had Jaws. I'm like, these are like more than double what these go for, like more than double. And I was like, wow, okay. So I'm like, I don't know if they want to sell this stuff when they price things. I know it's a shop in like a more well-to-do area, but I'm just like, I don't know what, like, who's buying these? Who would walk in and buy these? And on a whim, I guess, or they want people on a whim to buy it.
It's strange.
Maybe they want people to on a whim say, "Oh, I remember I had Jaws on the NES. Here it is in the box for triple what it should be."
Can't wait to buy it.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't look up they had prices of the action figures up. I didn't look up those prices, and then the comics. So it's nice to see a comic shop, a mom and poppy comic shop. Since I used to grow up going to them all the time. So I did that, and then too many games happened that weekend. It's the second biggest convention of its type, only to PRGE, and it was even bigger this year. There was more people. They tripled the size of the venue. They had a lot of definitely a changing the guard. I was an old man there compared to the other guests. A lot of new streaming and Twitch guests.
Makes sense.
Younger YouTubers. Scott DeWaz obviously was there. Good kid. Spoke to him again. Obviously, I see James, my pal, James Rolfe, and everyone else we know there. And of course, I hang out with my Conbay internet. And she's a great artist selling her wares, stickers, selling a lot of stickers and t-shirts and stuff like that. So it was super busy, 3-day event. And the Friday taxes you more than you think when you get to Saturday, because you're setting up and then, okay, now I got 5-6 hours of interacting and peddling stuff until Saturday. So it's like you're already off to you're already under your reserves energy are already sapped to begin with. And then I did my panel. Panel's pretty good. I threw out some Drake's cakes to the crowd. My mom bought me. My mom bought me some boxes of Drake's. I threw out a couple of Yodels and Funny Bones. Funny Bones, the ones with the peanut butter, if you don't remember.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
Yeah, I haven't had one yet, so now it's like rationing them out. You can buy them online, but the reason I don't is because then I'd eat a Drake's cake every fucking day, and I can't do that. So I try to ration one every 3 days. Like, okay, now I can have a Drake's cake. And it also makes them last longer. And I do that. So, what? Why are you looking like that?
Just looking at you.
How could you ration out Drake's cakes? I don't know, because they're great. I talk to people back here, like our pal Yoshi, and it's like, I don't know what a devil dog is. I'm like, okay, you have to have a devil dog. You never had a devil dog before? And that's the thing. It's like, they don't have Drake's cakes out here. So
I feel like the fudge dip devil dog is where it's really at.
I don't know. They're
less dry. They're less dry. I feel like that chocolate coating seals in the freshness.
I don't know if I misremember, but the devil dogs I've had in recent years are more moist than the ones as a kid. That's just, I don't know if it's they might have figured that out in the past 30 years.
I mean, thank goodness.
Or last 15 years I had one, but I think you're right. They used to be the driest thing ever.
Oh,
I think they're more moist now, and I think the same with Twinkies. Whenever I have a Twinkie modern times. I haven't had Twinkie now in a few years at least.
I fucking love Twinkies.
They're more, Twinkies they're not as bad as what you think when you look at the health thing. It's like, these aren't awful for you.
You don't want to live on them, but if you have one Twinkie, you're not fucking killing yourself.
But the sponge cake isn't horrible for you. Yeah. Versus having a Choco Bliss, which I used to always have. Those are the worst things. 4 layers of chocolate, and fudge. Those were bad. I think they stopped making those because of a lawsuit.
I love some of the Mexican snack cakes that you can get down here, like the gansito, which is also probably horrible for you. It's like chocolate cake, cream, strawberry jelly, dipped in chocolate.
See, once you get to the jelly stuff, that's where you go off the rails.
Yeah, because it's not jelly, it's sugar based.
Yes, see, when you look back at what I used to eat as a kid, it's like, I had a Hostess cupcake or a Twinkie. No, that's not what did me in. Made me thick but quick packed. It was the fruit pies. The fruit pies are probably the worst possible thing you could fucking eat in existence.
The fruit's not good for you, but that crust is literally just like lard and flour dipped in sugar.
It's deep fried.
Yeah.
It's like deep fried and then covered in tons of sugar. And then the quote unquote, what used to be fruit inside, whether it's apple, what was it? They did apple, blueberry, cherry, lemon.
Yeah, that's
Lemon's
not
my
fruit.
Favorite.
Lemon's my favorite.
It could pretend to be fruit at some point. It's just sugar
There's
cream.
No reason to pretend it's fruit.
But that's the point. That was a lot worse as a kid, looking back. Oh, it's healthy. It has fruit in it. Like having a granola bar. Oh, this is healthy. It has peanut in it, but then it has chocolate chips. No, it's the worst thing ever. Monk Pack. Use promo code CU Podcast, and you save on there. Those are healthy and great, keto friendly bars. Anyway, so too many games was fun. It was good to be back. I was just there in October. I had pork roll. I met up my our pal Brendel Floss, and I have to get an omelet with dry wheat toast, butter and jelly on the side. That's my trademark. Home fries. And I said, give me a side of pork roll.
Yeah.
And you remember why it's the best thing ever. And that's what I did. What are you scrolling around?
What kind of omelet did you get? I'm opening all the articles that we need.
My omelet of choice is a bacon and Swiss cheese omelet, and I get sour cream and salsa on the side. And I don't know why that combination always gets to me, but it does. There was a diner back in Jersey that had that, and they called it. It wasn't a Texas omelet. Mexican omelet's something different. I think it was a Southwestern omelet. I never found another diner ever had that in New Jersey, but it was literally Swiss cheese, bacon, and it was sour cream and salsa. And
I can't really do omelets anymore unless it well, I can. I love them, but that side of salsa is crucial for me. I love salsa on an omelet.
But it's the combination of bacon with the sour cream and Swiss. I
do love Swiss. Swiss is so good on an omelet.
Swiss is my favorite cheese. It's become my favorite cheese over the years.
It's got a little bite.
Intermittent fasting, not too heavy. It's better on burgers to me because you taste more of the meat. Cheddar or American can be too strong, in my opinion, and it goes better, I believe, with bacon.
One of my favorite snacks is just the Swiss cheese sandwich, just like bread,
really?
mustard, Swiss cheese, fold it in half. Fucking good.
My all-time favorite burger is mushrooms, bacon, and Swiss cheese.
I did that 2 weeks ago. I made them on the grill.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You don't even need like lettuce or tomato at that point. You're good to go. Damn, intermittent fasting. So it was a great time being back home. Ian, I'm sure, missed me. And and I try to get over all the bad news happening.
Yeah.
And try to just get through it, talking to people.
Fuck you if you support that shit.
You want to talk about, and also fuck you support NFTs. Square Enix.
I think this is interesting. Square Enix has said that it's too early to make Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy blockchain games. But still, this is the headline from a Eurogamer article by Vicky Blake. But it does still list NFT game development in its list of medium-term goals. What I think is interesting here is that it's listed as medium-term, not short-term, because they seemed so gung-ho about it when they initially talked about it.
The New Year's letter, then they just sold off a bunch of their North American
to get
IPs
into NFT games. They certainly made it seem like they were ready to do this. So it's still too early to embed blockchain in its most popular franchises, but has confirmed that development of blockchain games and entertainment products remains on the company's list of medium-term goals. Here's what I think is happening. And I've noticed it with Japanese companies, and we talked about it a little bit on here before when covering NFTs. They seem to get into that party really late. It seemed like they were behind on it by a couple of months. Mm-hmm. And right as NFTs were starting to really fall off a precipice in interest here, that's when we were like, what the fuck is like Square Enix and these other companies doing?
And GameStop.
Because GameStop too, but like just focusing on Japan, all of a sudden, like we started hearing all sorts of stuff come out of Japan about how they want to do NFTs. I'm wondering if someone at Square Enix fucking looked around and realized maybe this isn't the landscape. I mean, moving it to medium term, what is medium term?
It means maybe next year, the year after.
Yeah, to me, it sounds like they're kicking the can down the hall, and now they're getting maybe a little afraid to commit to this because
crypto's crashed in the past 6 weeks.
Yes.
NFTs are even harder because the first thing that goes when people get a little tight about a potential recession or money, they have to get liquid. What do? You get all this fucking gambling and weird shit, this speculative stuff. So the first thing that goes is crypto, and the whales get out because they want to make sure they make their payments on their yachts or whatever, and have cash in case it gets even worse. And then you have a sell-off happen. You have a great sell-off, and you need crypto obviously for NFTs as well. So it's obviously they're connected because of Ethereum, right? So
yes,
it could not, and plus it was already tailoring off in the interest. The worst possible timing for GameStop and for like Square Enix to get into this. They should have done this a year ago at least. They could have at least had some short term.
Well, they shouldn't. I mean,
if they want to get some profit out of it. But Ubisoft, no interest when they did their shit. Square Enix,
27. They sold 27 NFTs. When we went over that. Holy shit!
They sold off Tomb Raider to do this, and Tomb Raider they sold off.
A Tomb Raider franchise that they had, not them, they owned it, but that the developers had like
revitalized,
completely 180'd and revitalized into like a really good,
and did a movie from it that they're supposed to do more movies. 300 million. Think about 300 million. That we're not even talking about Deus Ex and Thief, and those probably you can make some money off. But Tomb Raider, you're giving up any future, you can make a Tomb Raider game probably every 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
If you keep it going. And the movies. That 300 million is so short-sighted just for that alone. You need to cash that. You couldn't make 300 million off of Tomb Raider over the next even 10 years.
It's
15
crazy.
years.
Yeah.
You do a couple more movies. You do like 3, 4 more games. You do re-releases, greatest hits, or I'm sure that you do like
remasters.
That's insane to me.
At least remaster the first two.
And you have the other stuff I'm talking about. What a fuck up, Square Enix. I mean, that's insane. So I'm glad it's good that you're not going to see a Dragon Quest NFT game anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because otherwise Ian would fucking go nuts if he saw that. Probably.
I'd throw something out the window.
Earn your little blob
Slimes,
little slime cards or whatever, and trade them in. That'd be currency. Call them blobs. How dare me? I'm tired. Anyway, Ian.
It's okay. It's just a very simple name.
I was thinking of blobs because they look blobbish.
They're blobbish. Look like little chips, chocolate chips with their little pointy heads.
They're Hershey Kisses, basically. Right?
Yeah.
But you can't eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but that'd be
gross.
That'd be rude.
Slimy.
It'd be slimy.
This
news coming out that Diablo Immortal, our favorite mobile game, may not be releasing in China anymore. This comes from Dexerto, which is also a gaming and esports news site. It's a Twitter account. China allegedly is banning the release of Diablo Immortal in the country due to reports that the Diablo Immortal Weibo, or Weibo, which is a Chinese social media, their account made a joke about Xi Jinping, which is the leader of China. He's the premier, I believe, leading the Communist Party of China.
Yeah, they made the Winnie the Pooh joke,
which he supposedly hates.
Yeah,
it's good to have an authoritarian leader that's very thin-skinned.
Yeah,
jokes. So it's a good thing to have.
Yep, absolutely. Doesn't get people into trouble at all.
So it's if this is true, the translation on the post reads, "Why isn't Winnie the Bear going out of office yet?" It makes reference to Winnie the Pooh, which Z is commonly portrayed as. The Chinese leader isn't fond of this, and in the past led to various other games and media being banned. So the fact they did this from the official Diablo Immortal account is nuts.
It is.
And whether it was an accident or didn't switch the account, the person using the social media. But if Diablo Immortal is not released in China, which is, in theory, a bigger gaming market than like the US and Europe maybe combined.
Especially with mobile stuff, because mobile stuff is bigger. Supposedly huge over there.
Yeah. This is like, I can't tell you how catastrophic this is to Activision for this to happen.
Activision Blizzard, yeah. I mean, it's already getting, panned in the US, and then to lose out on another massive market. Well, they're learning. they're learning some lessons.
I mean, I can't imagine if you wake up in the morning and you see this. If you're like a CEO of Activision, or you're like what we just did. What this is potentially this tweak can cost us.
There could be $1 billion loss.
$1 billion like mistake.
Yeah,
of something, or maybe more. Like I don't know what the whales are like over there buying it. Like it's I can't think of another thing that this could have happened.
No, it's insane.
Obviously, China, when it comes to movies and games, they want to censor out certain things. Supposedly, they wanted to censor out one of Tom Cruise's leather jacket patches.
Oh, really?
It's like a rising sun. Or I looked this up, and they said, and then to their credit, Paramount said, no, we're not doing that. He had the patch in the first one. We're not doing that. Let me put Tom Cruise jacket patch China. I'm going to see what was happened there. It was a Taiwanese flag on his jacket.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, China. Sure. They're having the tiff going with Taiwan. So they wanted that to be. I think they wanted the movie to be banned there, and then I think they restored it. Basically, they said at one point, "Fuck you," and that's what it comes down to. At some point, it's going to be like, we're going to do our art the way we want to, and whether or not you want to show it, whether it's in Saudi Arabia and editing out any gay kisses, like they wanted to get rid of it in Lightyear. There's a quick peck on the lips between two women, and it's like
the fall of civilization.
Get over it. Get over it. It's 2022. Get over it. Or don't see the movie. But
or eat shit.
Yeah. So anyway, at some point we have to say you have to get on board with the rest of
society,
the rest of the civilization, modern civilization, and stop kowtowing. But whether or not businesses want to do that, let's talk about that. They're always going to be do we? So it looks like Top Gun Maverick restored. Top Gun, they reversed it. Originally, they said it was going to be gone, and then they basically said, "Screw you." and then we're going to put the patch back in. It's a fucking patch on the jacket.
Yeah, you'll live.
Yeah, it's a patch there. And you know what? It's made $1 billion. $1 billion, Top Gun. It's been hugely successful. So obviously they'd be like, okay, either get on board and or not. So, this article is interesting. It said Disney's 2020 film Mulan bombed at the Chinese box office despite producers ensuring they had cast actors popular in China, shared the script with Chinese authorities for review, and cut scenes that Chinese test audiences didn't like.
If it's not making money, what the fuck's the point?
I probably think about obviously China has the second most number of people in the world to India at this point. It's over 1 billion people, or about 1 billion, and the common person is not going to care about this stuff like the government will.
Right.
They're not going to see a Taiwanese flag on Tom Cruise's jacket and walk out of the theater. They're not going to give a shit. They want to see it. They want to see an interesting movie. They're
also not going to see a Taiwanese flag and become radicalized by it. Like,
yeah, one way or the other. They have their mind made up about the issue, one way or the other. So at some point, like, I didn't realize that Mulan bombed. I forgot it came out, the live action one. At some point, you got to be like, we're just going to do it, whether or not you want to see it or not. So maybe that's what spurred that. This sort of stuff's like, we're going to bend over backwards and it's still going to make money. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? So anyway, yeah, I just thought that was interesting there. So you know, I don't have a transition, Ian.
Neither do I. I was really struggling for one.
I'm never gonna ban your sales at ultimatenintendo.com.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. So,
you know, I will not ask you to change any of your opinions on my RBI baseball stickers. I sold them out at too many games. Enamel pins, the Ultimate Nintendo, Super Nintendo books, DVDs, and the not for resale Blu-ray, and more. I'll be back on Twitch. I had not skipped a week of Twitch in 2 years. I had it because I was gone. Wednesday night afternoon, late afternoon here in Pacific time. Twitch.tv/ContraCode, watching 70s, 80s, 90s commercials. And then, I will be at the Southeast Game Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina. That's already in a week and a half, July 9th and 10th. Come out and see me. My first time, I think, ever in South Carolina. I don't think I've ever stopped there at an airport before. That's not why I wanted to murder that guy, was it?
No, that was
North
Atlanta, Georgia.
That was Atlanta?
It was.
Was the Atlanta airport?
I will never forget it.
Okay. You want to talk about this Nintendo Direct, Ian?
I guess. So yes. No, I mean, there was some stuff on there that I was pretty, that looked pretty good. So there hasn't been a Nintendo-themed Nintendo Direct in a while.
Where?
But there was a third-party Direct that basically is showing off, this article's from Polygon, Nicole Carpenter, shows off, it's a 24 third-party Nintendo games all coming in the next year, some of them this year. So just to run it down, we don't have to talk about all of this. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak was expected to be seen. That expansion comes out June 30th. I'm looking forward to it. Monster Hunter expansions really take expansion to a whole new level. It's really just like the amount of game content you got in the original game, that's usually how much game content you get in these expansions.
Sounded they could have taken your quote and put on the box art. Really takes expansion to a new level.
I mean, they're worth the money. They're really good.
What would they charge for their DLC?
I'm gonna guess $30.
What's the game? 60?
Yeah.
So it's like half. Okay.
But yeah, you get a lot. Nier Automata is coming. Super Bomberman R2 is one that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, okay. That was a launch title, right?
Yes. And I hated what they did with the free-to-play online version because it was pay to win.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
But hopefully Super Bomberman R2 will be a full-priced game.
Hard to fuck up Bomberman, right?
Right.
I mean, you can, but like, why would you? It's the simplest concept.
This is one that I think people have been waiting for, the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. It's going to take all of the Mega Man Battle Network games, put them together. These were really interesting games for the original Game Boy Advance.
I think I played one of them.
They use a real-time grid-based combat system with cards, and it gets surprisingly deep and is a really good time. I only ever played one. I played part 2. And
so it's an action RPG, basically.
No, they're turn-based. I think it's random battles or RPG-like battles, but then you get like a grid on one side and a grid on the other side, and you can move at any time between the grid spots, and you use different cards that have different area of effect. It's a really neat system.
Action strategy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pac-Man World is getting a remaster called a repack.
This was the PlayStation?
This was PlayStation. I mean, I played the game when I was younger, and I liked it.
Probably like 99 or so this came out. What year was
98,
this?
99? Yeah, probably 99. Blanc, which I don't know anything
Real
about.
quick, I remember playing Pac-Man World a little bit. My cousin had a PlayStation, and it seemed fun.
Yeah. Cute enough.
But it's not Pac-Man.
Return to Monkey Island. It's the direct sequel to Monkey Island 2, so I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see those characters again. One of the best PC adventure game series out there. The first one is Comedy Gold.
I got to play it still. I never played it.
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I'm really looking forward to this. The first Mario and Rabbids game was fantastic. It's a strategy game. Plays like XCOM, but with Mario and Rabbids characters. The first one was like a surprise hit kind of early on in the Switch's lifespan. I think everyone kind of assumed that maybe it wasn't going to be great because it was all third-party developed by Ubisoft. But it came out great, and I believe the guy who created it, like Miyamoto, even said, "Hey, I really like this," and like the dude was like in tears because he did the impossible. He made a third-party Nintendo game that was well received.
What do you mean did the impossible?
Well, I mean, you look at like the Philips CDI stuff. Anytime that the Mario,
okay, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like Mario time when they source out Mario, it usually doesn't go.
That was a very specific thing with the
Yes.
CDI. They had no say on that probably. And so it was a disaster. This looks interesting, this Railgrade game here.
Yes, I'm interested in this.
The comment from the author is funny. It's Roller Coaster Tycoon, but trains. Well, there was Railroad Tycoon, which I guess they haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, but I think, but if you look at it, it's far more whimsical than like Roller Coaster Tycoon was.
Railroad
Tycoon.
Serious?
Yeah, this looks fast and weird and. Yeah,
Look
at it because
it's snaking in and out,
snaking in and out and all that stuff.
It's not a sim.
I'm really excited for this. I love railroad shit. I will play the fuck out of this.
It's on your. I was like, what was that sound?
Oh, sorry. It's the.
I was like, what the hell was that?
It's the rail sim music.
Yeah, you're building your own rail. It looks like you can go in first person or third person, not just overhead.
Yep.
I don't know what I don't have the audio and trailer. Like what would it be like mission objectives to do things? Or
yeah, most likely. I'm sure there'll probably be a free mode and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, it looks cool. A couple other ones: Sonic Frontiers,
Disney Dreamlight Valley, which looks like it's going to be basically a Disney-themed Animal Crossing.
Oh, not a bad idea, I guess.
Live Alive demo, a SquareSoft RPG that was never released over here during the Super Nintendo years, is getting released. Dragon Quest Treasures, which another spin-off. There's tons of spin-offs to Dragon Quest at this point. I honestly don't know what type of game this looks like. I can't really tell.
Minecraft Legends. Is that more of an adventure game than just regular Minecraft, I guess?
Big ones.
Big ones?
Persona series is finally getting represented on the Switch, and I've been waiting for this to go through Persona 5 Royal. Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal. So basically the Game of the Year or enhanced editions of all three of the main Persona games since they've gone to this format are getting released and are expected soon. I don't know how soon.
Saw a cat in the trailer. What kitty cat's that? Sorry.
Oh, for which one?
53 seconds in.
Oh.
There's a baby kitty cat. Sorry.
So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I mean... Portal Companion Collection. Portal's getting released. That's actually available right now. It got a shadow drop. I really love the Portal games. I don't know if I need to play through them again, but they're great games. And if anyone actually has made it this long without playing them, you should. These are not graphically intensive games. They're going to be fine on the Switch.
Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump.
I don't
Plus
know.
Dimensions.
Know.
A tactical action game about a boy who's moved to Japan. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's nice. They obviously get some shine to some of these ones that I never heard of. I never would have heard of Railgrade or Little Noah's Scion of Paradise.
That got shadow dropped today too.
Oh, it's already out.
Yeah,
2D strategy
it looks cute. It's a roguelite Metroidvania, and I love roguelikes. I like a lot of roguelites too. But I'm kind of tired of every fucking roguelite taking the form of a Metroidvania.
Has that been over? Is it being overly done now?
Yes.
Gotcha. It's a golden age of roguelites coming back. I guess this means we'll probably see a Nintendo Direct with first-party stuff later in the summer, early fall. Probably early fall for the holiday season. They usually do like to set up whatever the big holiday games are going to be.
Yeah.
If we know what they're going to be, if we can guess. Yeah. All right. I don't have much more to say about it.
Yeah. No, neither do I. That's about it.
You want to talk about a trademark being abandoned real quick?
Yeah. So
what was that? Some white noise that Ian did?
Sick of fucking Amico shit. Drag him out into the street, flog him, get it over with.
Flog him.
I don't want to deal with this anymore. The Intellivision Amico trademark has been abandoned. That's not a good sign.
Posted by Tommy Poopy Pants on the Intellivision_Amico Reddit.
Yeah. And a lawyer did check in here. Okay. This is from Fletch0083. I do want to read this. So this is pretty good. Gives it some understanding and some place.
Okay.
IP lawyer here to give some insight into what this means, since another commenter requested a professional explanation. The trademark was abandoned for failure to file either a statement of use or an extension within the required time period. After you get a trademark allowed, basically meaning you have the right to use it in commerce, you have a certain amount of time to either use it and file a statement of use or file an extension so you can have some additional time. The mark still shows that it has an attorney of record who works at the same firm that was handling the omnibus patent. It's a very well-respected firm, so it's highly unlikely that the attorney just forgot to pay the extension fee. The fee is also fairly low, a few $100s including legal fees, so it's probably not an issue of not having the money. The only rational conclusion is that Intellivision explicitly requested that the attorney not file the extension, meaning that they have no intent to use it in commerce. TLDR, the mark was likely abandoned due to an express request by Intellivision. The system is dead.
Or else they never got back to the lawyer and just said to do it. They just didn't.
I suppose. I mean, and that's the thing. I think a lot of there is still when bankruptcy talks come up and stuff, there is still a lot of people that I think Intellivision did more than they actually did. They bought an office and sat around on their fucking ass.
Well, they rented it.
Yeah. So I don't think
a couple offices.
So I mean, yeah, you're right. It could have just been that Intellivision never bothered. But if the attorney is still listed, then Intellivision's paying the attorney. So I think that's what this person's getting at. So Intellivision knew enough to keep paying the attorney, but they didn't do this. So either they forgot about it, but I do think there is some likelihood to this. They asked not to have it extended because they're not going to fucking do anything with it.
So then it says, well, does this mean it's totally dead? Well, in theory, you can still try to sell whatever you want, bring it to market without the trademark, but then someone else can challenge it. So it'd be stupid to sell something,
right?
Of that scale and not have the trademark locked up.
And I'm not going to go digging for it because it's a long thread, but they also clarified that just because it's abandoned doesn't mean that like anyone can go pick it up right now. It takes a few years for that to happen.
No, you have to show that you actually have good faith to use it and use it. It's not just, So,
but it's not something you can do immediately, no matter what.
But it's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign. And supposedly, we never really talked about it. Supposedly, there was some back and forth between the people that had the Amiga computer trademark and Amico, since they're very close. It's just a different way of saying it in a different language, saying friend. And so they must have came to a deal on that. We never really commented on it because it's like, well, they'll probably work it out. Or maybe they'll get a cut. After Sudesh gets his $100 per console, maybe the Amiga people get $1. I don't know. But either way, they probably worked out some deal with that, some licensing agreement for that, because that was a dispute going on. At least this is all public, all the trademark stuff. You can go to the U.S. site and look it up, and you can look it up for yourself. So not a great sign in Intellivision land.
And I'll also point out other signs that like there's just no one there and the lights are off. About a month ago, the U.S. Shopify store where they sell their T-shirts and their physical products from went down temporarily. The people on the Intellivision Amico Reddit, mentioned it, and then all of a sudden, like later, like someone was looking at it, maybe Phil Adam, the U.S. Shopify store went back up. But about a week ago, it was pointed out that the Europe Shopify store went down. So when the U.S. Shopify store went down, the European one was still up. Now the U.S. one's back up, but the European Shopify storefront has been down for over a week now.
They're not paying the
they're not paying
the $29 monthly fee.
Yeah,
to have the Shopify stuff because that's like the mid level. I have a Shopify site. Is that the mid level? $29. There's like 3 or 4 different tiers.
And I know we talked about it when it was, when we covered the topic the first time, but I just want to point out that all of this makes everything Phil Adams said in that letter just seem like fucking hot air. There's nothing going forward here.
This was a comment someone made, I believe, on the Facebook group. You see this thing?
Which
under
one?
working_cuke did it. Someone posted the drama is just conspiracy theorists.
Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah,
the drama is just conspiracy theorists spreading rumors and panicking people. At the end of the day, though, if the Amico doesn't come out, then the only people it hurts are the people making it at Intellivision. Fuck you a million times.
Yeah, this toxic positivity shit is fucking too much.
The people that pre-ordered it that are never getting their money back, the investors that were lied.
The grants.
The people I talked to this past weekend at Too Many Games that say, I ordered the Intellivision Amico because I grew up loving the Intellivision. I thought it'd be fun. And now the Intellivision brand is forever tarnished with this shit. Those people that I probably feel the worst about, honestly, because now like going forward, the Intellivision name is mostly ruined for any new product. Fuck you, whoever let this comment. They blurred out their name. As well as members of this group, we might as well cheer them on and root for them to succeed, because that's the only way we will get to buy an Amico is if they succeed. Yeah, just cheer, yay! Pray to the fucking nostalgia gods that it'll come out. There are too many scummy people that choose to join an Amico fan group just to hate on Intellivision. Is this a parody?
What are you a fan of? Like,
this has to be parody. It spoils it for people genuinely looking forward to buying an Amico. Pre-orders are now free. And in the last update, which was only a week ago, the CEO of Intellivision confirmed that the aim is to release the Amico still. It isn't over yet, yippee. This has to be either a really good troll or this person is fucking, they're done.
I've definitely seen some really good trolls on there, but I mean, they're pretty obvious. This to me does seem like something one of the like Amico diehard would say.
I mean, you are a walking zombie.
Yeah.
You're gone. I mean, I wish I could be nice about it. You need professional help at this point. So anyway, yeah, I fucking hate that. The only people I've seen the comment in the past. The only people it hurts.
Oh no, we've talked about it a bunch.
And they're not even hurting because they got their fucking salaries for sitting around doing jack shit. The CFO and the CEO the past few years and getting loans, maybe not the entire loans paid back from the SEC filing, but they got interest paid back on their loans. But, so they're fine. They sat pretty. They went on vacations with people's money. Like they're fine.
Yep.
You're gonna feel bad for them?
Nope.
Sorry, I'm making you tired, Ian. It's just the Amico stuff.
I've been very tired lately.